Have you ever wanted to create your own handicapping dream team? You can now build your own superstar handicapping lineup using our Pick Your Team program at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Even more exciting, until Sunday, January 16th at midnight, you can save 15% off your Pick Your Team using coupon code PYT15 when checking out. Dave Koken, Marco D'Angelo, and Ralph Michaels, John Ryan, Joseph D'Amico, and Rocketman. The combinations are endless, and you can choose up to 5 handicappers. You start saving once you choose any 2 handicappers of your choice, and you can pay as little as under $6 per handicapper. Who will make your dream lineup? Just go to WagerTalk or SportsMemo, click Pick Your Team, and personally hand-select your handicapping roster. Don't forget, coupon code PYT15 will expire January 16th, so make sure to get your 15% discount.
Hey guys, and a very happy Tuesday to you here. January the 4th, 2022, and we got a great card in college basketball here tonight. We've got a couple of games isolated we're going to talk about, and we are going to do it with 3 of the best guys over at WagerTalk.com, 3 of the most profitable, as Ralph Michaels, Steve Merrill, and Dave Koken joining us here today to break these games down. And Ralph, Happy New Year to you. Boy, if you needed any reminder of how much fun college basketball is, the Purdue backers last night got a reminder of exactly how much fun college basketball is. What do you got going on over at WagerTalk.com, Ralph?
The Big Ten, such a quality conference. Excuse me. 3 college basketball plays today. Number 1 in hoops, combined NBA and college basketball. Now 78-46, 63% on the season. And my 4% best bets in college basketball on a 20-5, 80% run. 3 college hoops plays today, including a 4%. Get all 3 for just $29, WagerTalk.com.
That is awesome, guys. Head over there now to Ralph's page. And Steve Merrill, I know you got something cooking over at WagerTalk.com, my man. How you been? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Joe. And it's been a good start to 2022. 7-3, 70% all sports start the first 3 days of the new year. And we're going to keep it going with 2 strong college basketball best bets. You know, last year I started 25-7 through mid-January in college hoops. That was like 1 play every other day. I've treaded very lightly this year, especially with all these COVID shutdowns the past few weeks. But I've got 2 strong college best bets tonight. It's the deepest card I've had in quite a while, and you don't want to miss it. I've been the number 1 ranked college basketball capper each of the past 2 years at WagerTalk.com. You get the 2-for-1 special for $29 tonight, or even better, get 7 days of all sports for just $69. That includes all my football this week as well and my NBA. But you got to have a promo code, Merrill7. That's 2 R's, 1 L, MERRIL7. Merrill7 gets you 7 days of all sports for just $69. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
2 R's, 1 L, the Steve Merrill special. Guys, make sure you head over to WagerTalk.com. And Dave Koken, Happy New Year to you, my friend, continuing to dominate in the NHL. And I know you got something going on over at WagerTalk.com tonight as well.
Yeah, I did a little bookkeeping to check and see what the numbers are overall. And I think this is what I'm proudest of since joining WagerTalk on a full-time basis at the beginning of 2018. It was actually very late 2017, but from the January 1st, 2018 through the end of 2021, all sports plus 280 net units, or 280%, a little better than that, actually. That's a lot. And, you know, that's my style. Just grind it out and produce the profits. Off to a decent start in 2022. Got a best bet in college basketball tonight. Also a free play, which you can pick up right now on my homepage, which is wt.buzz/DC. I don't think I'm going to have any NHL tonight, but obviously we'll have hockey plays coming down the road. And that's about it.
All right, good stuff, guys. Bottom line, a lot of ways to make it a profitable start to 2022. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Visit all 3 of these gentlemen as we head over to the SEC. And let's talk about it here. Kentucky taking on LSU here tonight in Baton Rouge. LSU opened as a Small favorite there with a total of 140, 7 o'clock Eastern time tip here. Ralph Michaels, talk to us about this Kentucky team who was nice enough to honor Tubby Smith before they waxed his High Point team off the court here. What are we going to get from Kentucky tonight?
Yeah, hell, Kentucky, 4 straight wins by 34 points per game. Kellen McGrady is shooting 75% from three-point land in those 4 games. So, we have this Kentucky team, 11-2, losses to Duke and losses to Notre Dame. Issue is this: they played the number 318 schedule, and they've only played 1 true road game, and that was a miserable performance, losing outright at Notre Dame. When you talk LSU, Will Wade has made such a transformation. LSU was an offensive, fast-paced team last year with a decent defense. Their defense right now is so dominating, clearly number 1 in the country. They're allowing 32% shooting at home. They're 8-0 ATS at home. They're 2 overs and 10 unders on the season, and their defense is suffocating. They're averaging on the season 17 steals per game. That's an amazing number. They have 3 guards that get it done. They are off a bad loss at Auburn. Here's the issue, though. I would be all over them because Kentucky has only faced 1 top 75 defense the entire season, and that was the opener against Duke. They lost that game and scored 71 points. The only reason this game didn't make my card is because Brandon Murray, the freshman guard, missed the Auburn game. And Will Wade says we are a completely different offense without him in there. He has a hamstring. He's a game-time decision. He did a little bit in practice Monday, but could not be a full go. And he goes, we absolutely need him. So with his injury and not knowing if he's going to play tonight, it did keep me off the card for LSU. But I like LSU, and my best bet at the end of the show is going to be on the under in the game.
All right. Well, it is the first, true road game here for Kentucky since the Notre Dame game there. So what do you think? What are we going to get from Kentucky and LSU, Steve Merrill?
Yeah, not only that, Kentucky's only played a couple neutral site games. So this season, it's only the 4th time all year they've traveled, and they're 1-2 when leaving home so far this year. And they're always a young team, so not a surprise. Couple things pointed at LSU that I like to look at in college hoops, and also the NBA. I had a free play in the Utah Jazz last night on the NBA show, and I mentioned I always like to play Class A teams off a loss because it usually ensures a focused spot. Well, that's obviously what we get with LSU. They were a perfect 12-0 until they lost that Auburn game. And as Ralph said, the offense really struggled. They shot just 28.5%. They scored only 55 points. And to put that in perspective, this is a team that's averaging almost 78 a game, 45% shooting on the season. Now, if you are worried about that offensive loss, and it obviously was a problem, you could hedge LSU a little bit with the under, as Ralph said. So LSU, I think, is in a good bounce-back spot. But if they do come weak offensively again, that probably helps the under as well. Could be a little bit of a hedge on that end.
All right, good stuff there. And Dave, I know your best bet tonight, I believe, is in this game over at WagerTalk.com. And give us, you have anything else that you might want to add here, or should we just move on?
Let's move on. That is my best bet tonight. If you want to get it, just go to my homepage, wt.buzz/DC. I think it's got a really good chance to win. And I'll give opinions on the next 2 games instead.
Boom. Let's go to Kansas and Oklahoma State here as the Jayhawks open up as a 6.5-point favorite with a total of 147 here. 9 o'clock Eastern time tip tonight. Dave, I'm coming to you. Talk to me about the Cowboys and the Jayhawks. What do you think here?
Well, Oklahoma State they're just a bad offensive team, but they're really good defensively. And if you look at the numbers at shotquality.com, points per possession on defense, half court, 8th in the country, transition, 16th in the country. Excellent numbers on defense up and down the line. And I do like teams as home dogs that play good defense. The other thing here, and this is the tricky part of this game, Oklahoma State hasn't played real good ball so far, but I'm not surprised by that because this is a team that has nothing to really play for in terms of long range this season. They're not going to be able to participate in the tournament. They are banned or barred or whatever the right word is from tournament play this year. So I haven't put much stock into what they've done in these non-conference games. I think where you're going to see them focused is the few games that are going to mean something, and this is one of them against a real big-name opponent at home. They're going to be really fired up for this game. I think you pick your spots with Oklahoma State this year. I think they're mostly a go-against team. But in a spot like this, I think they'll play their best game. And defensively, they're strong. So I think this is going to be a close one. Don't think Oklahoma State has enough to win it outright, but getting enough points here to make it an opinion on the Cowboys plus the points.
Rob, I mean, the opening Big 12 matchup for these two teams as conference play begins. Oklahoma State coming off of that cancellation over the weekend, COVID concerns there against Texas Tech. What do you think we're going to get from tonight at Henry Iba Arena?
Well, I mean, we have a team that's played against a team that hasn't played. Kansas played Nevada December 29th, beat them by 20-some points. They played George Mason on the 1st, and Oklahoma playing their first game since December the 18th. We'll see how that pans out. Being a conference game, it clearly gives me a lean to the team that has played and is much more fluid. But I'm going to look at the under here. Both teams have been quicker paced teams. Ken Palm has them number 39 and number 85. But I think we find an advantage when you're coming off a non-conference and now playing a conference schedule for teams that know each other. This has not been a good spot for Kansas. In fact, South is under 500 playing here at Joe, your Gallagher Iba Arena. So I do think both teams do pressure. I think both teams are going to slow it down because it's a conference game. You look at Oklahoma State at home, you lose to Wichita State, you lose to Xavier, and Cleveland State, you need overtime to win. That's your last 3 home games before that neutral game against Houston. There was an injury. Remy Martin for Kansas, the Arizona State transfer who's played point guard, did miss the last game. Coach said he did practice Monday, so he's a full go. If you see him on the injury list, he is fine. I think both teams slow the pace. This is a start. Here's a number for you. Not real relevant as far as betting goes, but it's a pretty amazing number. Kansas has won 30 straight conference Big 12 openers. Last loss, 1991. To win 30 straight years, your first opening Big 12 game, I guess he has his team ready to play.
Yeah, he certainly does and has over the years, but it is certainly a difficult venue there. It has proven to be a tough place, even for this Oklahoma State team. What do you think, Steve Merrill? Are you any chance you'll back the dog in this one?
Your Oklahoma State Cowboys, Joe Raineri. Dave brought up a good point about focus this year, and I do think you have to pick your spots. But this being the conference home opener, you would think maybe this is as focused of a spot that they would have. My concern, of course, is they have not played since the 18th of December because of that cancellation. They've been off for over 2 weeks now. You would think that would help the defense and hurt the offense, but we've actually seen recently, the past few weeks, I've been tracking it, a lot of teams have actually come out with really good offensive showings after the layoff. I guess they're fresh. I'm not sure. They're still shooting around in practice and whatnot. We have seen a lot of money on the under in this one. I know Ralph leaned that way. This one opened as high as the 148 range, down to 144 now. So the early sharp money was definitely on the under in this game. Oklahoma State's a team, as Dave said, you got to be careful with. They've not covered now 5 straight, but I do think this is maybe a spot where you can take a shot with them tonight. Terrible 3-point shooting team. They get most of their points in transition. Kansas likes to play fast like they do. So if that's the case, I think Oklahoma State can probably score in transition tonight and not have to rely on that bad half-court offense. So I think maybe the Cowboys plus 6.5 are worth a look here.
All right, good stuff there, guys. We got one more game to talk about here. We'll break down, and one of the hotter teams in the country, number 16, Providence, taking their 8-game winning streak to Marquette here tonight. They open up as a small favorite here of 2 with a total of 137.5. A real nice win over DePaul on Saturday there. Dave Koken, what do you think we're going to get from Providence tonight?
Well, let the other guys talk about the matchup. I'm going to talk about the line here. This is one of those games where My cat is weighing in on the situation. I don't know who he likes. This game opened Providence 2, which makes sense because the Friars are playing great basketball and just killed DePaul on Saturday, which was not a good result for me, by the way. I took DePaul in that game and obviously was never in it. They got down early, and then Providence hit it with like a 19-0 run. Was never a contest. So here you've got the Friars going into Milwaukee on fire. And you've got Marquette with 4 straight losses. Clearly not in good form. And yet, Providence opens 2, and the line is swung to Marquette 1.5. That's sharp money, okay? That's not public money that's driving it. And I agree with the sharp money here. I think Marquette comes up with a big effort. The Friars have played really good basketball, and they're on fire right now, and they're really well coached. But I think the sharp market has the right side in this game. I didn't bet it. I was strongly considering actually taking Marquette, but I missed a good number, and I just don't like taking the worst of it as far as value is concerned. So I'm not playing the game, but the only side I'd consider is Marquette. I think the line tells you who's going to win this game.
It's a great point, Dave. That is a very peculiar line move there, Steve Merrill. And listen, Marquette was down, I believe, as many as, was it 17 in that game against Creighton over the weekend, and they eventually ended up losing in double overtime. But, Marquette, can you see them getting this win and getting it done here tonight?
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, you look at the offense, defense, even the pace, everything favors Providence. So that's what Dave's talking about here. It's a little bit of an interesting line reversal here as they've gone from a road favorite to a road dog. Providence likes to play slow. Marquette likes to play very fast. I rate Providence as the better offensive and defensive team on both sides of the court here. They're 13-1 straight up. They just played at DePaul, won that game outright as a dog by 17. So they're comfortable on the road here. In fact, this is their 3rd road game the last 4. They also won at Connecticut as a dog in their previous road game. So they've been a very good road team. The key to this game is going to be pace. Can Providence slow Marquette down? Now, normally the home team is better at dictating tempo, but I've always said it's much easier to slow down a fast team than vice versa. So everything points to Providence in this game. So like Dave said, the line reversal here from home dog to home favorite now, Marquette is peculiar. It would keep me off this game as well. Hard for me to really make a case for Marquette otherwise, but buyer beware. Something is definitely fishy about this one.
They haven't been great, Dave, at home, Marquette. They've lost their last 3. In fact, they haven't won at home since November 30th against Jackson State. So confident enough in Marquette getting it done here tonight?
That would be Rolf, Joe, but yeah, that's okay.
Go ahead,
Dave started us off. You know, I understand what Dave's saying about the line, and sometimes lines are fishy and sharp money's there. But there is no way that I can play Marquette. You know, you're talking about a first-year head coach who's now 0-3 in conference play. And yes, they had a huge comeback against Creighton, but they were also up 5 points with over a minute to go in the first overtime. Give up a hoop and give up a 3-pointer at the buzzer to go into second overtimes. Those type of losses with a new head coach and off a 4th straight loss, those are the kind of losses that I think can turn into more to a losing streak psychologically. Providence, I have no problems backing a Providence team on the road. You have 4 starters that are 4th-year seniors that have started all 4 years. That is about as experienced as you're going to get. You have 4 players averaging double digits. You don't worry about one player going cold. That's the exact type of team I would back on the road. I didn't get to the window with it, but again, only one way I would go in this, and that's with Ed Cooley's units against Shaka Smart in his first year for the Golden Eagles.
What'd you say your name was again? Ralph? Sorry, Ralph. I got it. But I was looking at you. I meant to go to you, and I said Dave. Sorry about that, guys. But the reality is, should be a hell of a game here tonight with Marquette and Providence. In fact, the card offers some really good games here tonight. It's time to see if there's one these guys like maybe a little bit more than the rest. So, Ralph, I'll come back to you. It is Ralph, right? Talk to me here. Which game you got circled, Ralph?
I'm going under in Kentucky LSU. I think it's a great spot where Kentucky on the road for only the 2nd true road game. Best defense they've seen all year. I think defense will control the game. Under for me. in Wildcats and Tigers.
All right, Wildcats, Tigers going the under there. Steve Merrill, how about you? Which way are you looking tonight?
Look at Clemson -3 as a free play for this show. Just a quick reminder, I do have 2 strong best bets that made my best bet card tonight in college hoops. I've been treading lightly this season with all the shutdowns and everything, but we're in conference play now. January's here. Last year, I started 25-7 through mid-January in college basketball. Number 1 last year. I'm number 1 again this year at WagerTalk.com, and I've got 2 best bets tonight, 25 each, or get a 2-pack for 29. It's a 2-for-1 special for Tuesday night college hoop. WagerTalk.com. Steve Merrill. Let's look at a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut. It's in the ACC. I'm going to look at Clemson -3. Now, going against a couple things here. First of all, the sharp money came in on Virginia. Went from 4 down to 3. I don't pay too much attention to that, but it's interesting. It's a quick revenge situation for Virginia. This is an angle I usually always back. Virginia did have a game in between losing to Clemson in December, though. They just beat Syracuse on Saturday on the road. But Clemson has not played in over 2 weeks since they beat Virginia. But it doesn't matter. This Virginia team remains overrated. It's a squad I follow very closely. I remember on Wager Talk today about a month ago, early December, I talked about the James Madison Virginia game. Thought it was a good spot for the Cavaliers. I believe they got outscored on a 17-1 run, ended up losing by 3. This isn't the same Virginia team that won the national title a few years ago. They're not as good. Clemson exposed them a couple games ago in Charlottesville 2 weeks ago. They lost by 17 as a 4-point favorite. Now they're only a 3-point dog on the road. I'm going to disregard the quick revenge angle that favors Virginia. I think everything else favors Clemson. Better offense. Both defenses rate pretty even, and both teams like to play slow. So Clemson's not going to be uncomfortable in that half-court Virginia style. Clemson Tigers -3 is worth a look tonight on Tuesday. It goes at 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right, get Clemson going here tonight. And Dave, how about you? What's the game you got circled first?
Well, the game I really have circled is Kentucky LSU. That's my best bet on the card tonight. I also have a free play on another SEC game, and you can get that. Again, it's free at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/DC. I'm going with the line movement. I think, again, Providence should be getting the action against Marquette. They went up they opened up as a 2-point favorite. They're red hot. Marquette isn't, having lost 4 in a row, and yet money pouring in on the Marquette side. I think it's meaningful money, and I'm going to go that way. Marquette minus the 1.5 for the best bet here on the show. It's not going to make my card, but I will tell you that I was probably going to play Marquette +2 had that number held. I do like Marquette in this spot. I think it's a really big game for them. Minus 1.5, I can't really make it a play because I've lost 3.5 points in value, but I think Marquette wins the game.
All right, good stuff. Shaka, Smart, and Marquette. Dave is leaning towards there, and our friends from the Gold Sheet, they got a game 2 up that they like tonight, and that would include Wake Forest taking on Florida State here tonight, and they also like the over in this one, and we invite you guys to read the full write-up here by visiting Wager Talk's Twitter page. We post these after each show, guys. Great information at thegoldsheet.com. Great write-ups on all the games. Great handicapping tools. I would absolutely take advantage of it. Head over to thegoldsheet.com. Check it out as they're back in Wake and the over tonight against Florida State. And I'm going to take the 7 points with Minnesota here tonight, guys. I just don't think at home a team that has the turnover issues that Illinois has should be laying 7 points here against a really tough Minnesota Gophers team here, guys. So I'm going to take the 7 with the home underdog here, Minnesota taking on Illinois. And to recap one more time, guys, we've got Ralph Michaels looking at Kentucky LSU under the 144 total. Steve Merrill, he likes Clemson laying to 3 tonight. Dave is leaning towards Marquette laying a 1.5 at home against Providence. I'm going to take the Gophers here plus the 7 against Illinois. And our friends at the Gold Sheet, Wake Forest laying a 1.5 and the over 145 in that matchup. And keep in mind, guys, like Dave told you, best bets up and ready to rock and roll over at WagerTalk.com. Dave's best bet tonight, Kentucky LSU. Go grab that. Steve Merrill's page. And Steve, what was that code one more time?
I muted myself here, Joe. I was listening to your beautiful words. Merrill 7, 2 R's, 1 L, Merrill. Merrill 7 gets you 7 days all sports, $69.
Take advantage of it. And nobody hotter than Ralph Michaels right now, guys. He is locked and loaded free, I believe, Ralph, for $29 tonight. Is that correct at WagerTalk.com?
You got it, Joe. Yep.
Perfect, guys. Let's make it a profitable Tuesday here. Also, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Make sure you come back and join us again tomorrow for another edition of the College Basketball Tip-Off Show. Until then, best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.